An alarming and historic setback for America's young students. Across the country, test scores dropped and significantly during the pandemic. That's new today from the National Assessment of Educational Progress. It's known as the nation's report card, and it's not a good one. Fourth and eighth graders fell way behind in math over the past 3 years. Average scores decreased by the largest amount ever recorded. They're down in nearly every state. And it's a similar story with reading. Scores now at their lowest level since 1992. So the drop in reading just wiped out 3 decades of academic gains. The Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona, calls the results heartbreaking and unacceptable. He spoke with CNN on New Day this morning.
If this is not a wake-up call for us to double down our efforts and improve education, even before the pandemic, then I don't know what will.
Well, it is the first time schools administered this test in 3 years. A superintendent in New Jersey tells NBC News students aren't taking any steps forward right now at all.
You know, you talk to many of my teachers and they'll tell you their kids are learning things over that they should have learned 2 years ago.
The problem really is coast to coast, not red states or blue states, but everywhere. Marty West, now academic dean and professor at Harvard Graduate School of Education, also importantly a member of the governing board that oversees the national test. Marty, thanks so much. Was there a difference in performance between areas that reopened schools versus those that continued remote learning?
If you look across all 50 states, you see a weak relationship where you do see that states where schools opened up earlier did lose a bit less ground. But I think focusing too much on that would be a distraction from the real message in these results, which is that scores are down almost everywhere.
Yeah. Is this an America exclusively problem, or do you suspect or even have evidence to suggest that other countries have suffered in the same way?
We don't have the same quality of evidence that we have in the U.S. from other nations, but all the evidence that we do have suggests that this has been a global problem. Schools were disrupted worldwide by the pandemic, not just in the U.S., and students have suffered as a result.
What do we do? What do we do as a society, as individual schools, as individual teachers?
Well, these data are much better at telling us what's happened than why. They're much better about telling us how much progress we need to make up than how to do it. But in my view, I think we need to realize that this is going to be a multi-year effort, not just something that occurs over weeks or months. And at the end of the day, there's no silver bullet. We need to make sure that students get increased instructional time, whether it be after school programs, whether that be extended school days or school years, whether that be vacation programming. At the end of the day, there's no substitute for students getting the access to instruction that they need to make up lost ground.
How serious is it? Is it so serious that we need to say, summer, sorry, we don't do that right now. We got to get you back up to speed. Winter holiday, spring holiday. I mean, what all is everything on the table?
I think everything should be on the table for those students who need the extra support. I think a lot of school systems here in Massachusetts, where I am, have had great success with vacation programming in February and April breaks. And that's benefited students a great deal. I'm not ready to cancel summer vacation for everyone right now, but I think we do need to be thinking seriously about getting students additional instructional time. It can also be additional instructional resources. We have good evidence for the effectiveness of high dosage tutoring, where you put a single student or a small group of students who have been struggling with a particularly effective educator, and that can be another way to do it within the bounds of the school day.
The struggle is certainly real, and the numbers don't lie, not here. Marty West, the best to you. Thank you very much.